Hello and welcome to Core Finance. I'm Matt Brown. I'm joined by Craig Erlam, who is a senior analyst at Oanda. Good morning to you, Craig. We're going to kick off with Brent crude. Now, it's actually had a bit of a rip this morning, pushing higher onwards and upwards. Where does it go from here on the chart, though?
Well, I'm starting to wonder whether we are getting a bit toppy now. It's been a very strong rally since the summer. There's been a number of factors at play. There was a lot of noise, of course, around the hurricanes in the US. Obviously, that creates a lot of volatility in this. So once that starts to drop out and you start to form more of a longer-term picture, and I think you can see that we are towards the high 50s, closing on a 60, which is a level that we could potentially achieve. But ultimately speaking, I think a lot of what is going to be priced in is priced in now. We've got things like the improved growth story, which we've seen a lot of from different people. Improved figures from China, for example, with trade, and China announced last week that it had its second biggest month of oil imports ever. And like I say, the IMF increasing their growth outlook and things like this. I think that's broadly priced in for now. And I think the rebalancing is starting to become increasingly priced in as well. People looking now towards the middle of next year as being the point where the market will finally come back into balance. And then, so I think when we start to get around the 59, 60 levels, I think we could potentially see some resistance, and then it's going to be a case of how does now the US shale industry react. Like I say, from a technical standpoint, like I say, we had that nice little correction. We'll see how we react around 59, see if we're going to push on 60. I still like that 56, 57 zone to the downside, because if we do cut back here, I mean, I know we came just below there towards around 55 last time, but you just look at the history from December through till June, that 56, 57 was such a key area of resistance. I think it's still worthwhile supporting. Should we break below that, then that could be a bit of a bearish correction signal, because not only are you breaking through that long-term resistance, turn possible support, but then you've got that rising trend line, which suggests that potentially, while this is starting to look a bit toppy, that would be that level of confirmation that we are potentially looking at a bit of a correction here. I don't think the correction is going to be too significant, just simply because the market is more balanced. And I think there is some sort of temporary bullish factors, things like what's happening in Iraq with the Iraqi Kurds. But like I say, I think that's going to be the trigger for some downside correction. That's not necessarily to say it's going to come right away, but that's just something that we're keeping an eye on.
Understood. Craig, fantastic. Thanks very much for joining us today.
Thank you.